Welcome back to one of the Bears Trouble Plays YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, December 19th, and I'm back after the NBA Cup, after a day break, looking at some regular season games for the rest of this season until we get to the playoffs. We do have a couple good games here. Memphis Grizzlies going up against the Warriors, Knicks going up against the T-Wolves. A lot of fun in those two games, most likely. Before we get into those, let's take a look at the recap from the NBA Cup. Bucks against the Thunder. Thunder couldn't make a shot. The way they came out, I thought it was going to be a blowout, but the Bucks held them off. Bucks played good defense. I don't know if it was good defense or poor shots from the Thunder, but the Bucks did win the game outright pretty easily. Had them plus 4.5. Hardenstein over 11.5 rebounds hit. I think he had 12. Had a nice offensive rebound pretty late in the game to catch that one. We were 1 point away from sweeping once again. Would have been a 7-0 run, but we'll take the 6-1. Lillard over 23.5 points, finished with 23. I don't know how you make 5 threes and finish with 23 points. Very hard to do. Very hard to do. Credit to Lou Dort. He was face guarding him after he scored 12 points in the first 15 minutes of the game. Lou Dort face guarding him really threw him off. Had a couple air balls as well with Lou Dort doing that. So shout out to Lou Dort. Good defensive play. I like seeing the good defensive play out of Lou Dort in that game. But we're going to move on. Actually, first, let's talk about some college basketball because I'm not going to take any college basketball games for Thursday, but we do have some games on Friday I will be looking at. But we're going to talk about college basketball just for a second. Xavier plus 13.5. They almost won the game, went to overtime against UConn, easy cover. Michigan minus 2.5. They were winning by double-digit points the entire game until Oklahoma scored 20 points in a 5-minute run between the 10-minute mark and the 5-minute mark in the second half. Don't know how it happened, but Oklahoma hit a 3 and 1 with 11 seconds left in the game. All you got to do is not foul Michigan. Unbelievable. Michigan in the second half, the defense fell apart. Just brutal. That's how they kind of lost Arkansas as well, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to let this game catch me up. It's early in the season. Should have been a winner there. Danny Wolf hit his over very easily. Should have been over in the first half. He had 12 points for like 25 minutes in this game and then finally hit a bucket late. Ryan Conwell missed by a hook, over 3.5, made threes, was plus money, was thinking about the 2.5, was minus 147. Didn't think that was very good value for anybody, so just went with the 3.5. And he had his attempts, 3 for 4 to start, had 3 attempts in overtime, just nothing was going to fall. UConn was extremely good at just blocking 3-point shots. I don't know if it was a height difference or what. They dominated rebounding on Xavier, but Xavier was just on fire from the field in this game. Sometimes, even if you're a bad team, or I shouldn't say bad team, even if you're the worst team in the matchup, they're plus 13.5. If you're making your shots, that can make up for a lot of mistakes in the game. Xavier made a ton of mistakes in this game, didn't rebound worth a damn, but they shot 61% from the outside. So that fixes a lot of problems, especially in college basketball. But we'll take the 2-2 day. Had the 4-0 day the other day, so I was really hoping for at least a winning day, but that's okay. We're going to bounce back not bounce back. We're just going to keep afloat on Friday, I should say. But we're going to have a couple games on Friday. I did see a couple Big East matchups we're going to be looking at. So, let's get back to the NBA here. We have the Warriors going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies, they are relatively healthy, and that's crazy to say because I feel like the Grizzlies over the last couple of years have been either 1 or 2 superstars down the entire year. Now they've got Jaren Jackson, they've got Desmond Bane, they've got JJJ, they've got everybody. I mean, this John Morant, they have their entire team. So not a whole lot of injuries for this Memphis Grizzlies team. Kind of the same with the Warriors, especially getting a trade. It was Dennis Schroeder, I believe. The Warriors got him in a trade from, I want to say the Nets, but that might have been last year. I'm pretty sure it's the Nets. Doesn't matter. Both these teams coming in healthy. We usually don't see that, in the middle of close to the middle of the NBA season. These teams, at least 1 or 2 superstars, you see them, getting some rest or ankle injury or whatnot. But no, we've got both these teams coming in healthy. Curry's playing, Green's playing. It's probably going to be Kuminga, Wiggins, and Schroeder would be my guess. So it's going to be best on best here. Probably going to get some pretty good defense in this game from the Warriors. They've got a great lineup for some defensive action in this game, but the Grizzlies are the number 1 team in the NBA scoring this season. So I'm going to take the Grizzlies minus 3.5. Over the last couple of years, the Grizzlies have been a pretty good defensive team. We haven't seen that much this season with the defensive play, but again, if you're scoring points, that can make up for a lot of your defensive play. For the Warriors, it's been about the same. They've definitely gotten better on the defensive side this season, but the scoring's a little bit down, mainly because Steph Curry's been in and out of this lineup. Hard to get a rhythm with Steph Curry back in there, but the spread's nothing too severe here. just take the better team. I think the Grizzlies are the better team. They're at home. I'll take the minus 3.5. Should be a fun game to watch as well with both teams being healthy. Grizzlies minus 3.5 will be the play. Second play tonight, this game has potential to get ugly, and it has potential for fights, brawls, chippy. I want to see someone ejected. I know that. Knicks going up against the T-Wolves will be on TNT, I believe. I think this is a doubleheader on TNT with the Warriors game. We have Karl-Anthony Towns going back to Minnesota. We have Dante DiVincenzo playing against the Knicks once again. But Dante DiVincenzo, he's been a non-factor this season. He's only shooting 35% from the field. He's making 31.9% of his threes. Those numbers are way down from last season. Maybe this, Knicks coming into his house now, maybe that sparks his competitiveness against his former team. But I do think Towns is going to have a monster day. And even if I took out the emotion of this game, both these teams probably going to come in with some emotion, especially some emotional players. I think the Knicks are the better team on paper. So just take out the emotion for right now. Knicks money line will be the play. They haven't been playing very good defense this season. The T-Wolves do have the advantage on that defensive side, but the Timberwolves have had multiple stretches of not being able to score. And I can't say the same about the Knicks. The Knicks will sometimes have a bad game, but they bounce back immediately. They score 115 plus points on average per game this season. The T-Wolves are one of the worst scoring teams in the NBA. I think this is going to be a game that the Knicks and the T-Wolves battle pretty early, but the Knicks scoring is going to be a massive impact in this game. They're just going to pull away late in the second half. I do think that's going to come back and bite them in this game. The Knicks, if they want to play defense, they do play defense. That Tibbs, culture, it's still there. He just has to get the players to buy into that a little bit more. With bringing all these other players into the Knicks, you knew that defense was going to take a little bit of hit, but the offense for the Knicks is still there. I think Towns is going to be a massive impact. I do think the Knicks are the overall better team in this matchup. If you're going to give me the points, I'll probably take them, but I'm pretty confident on the Knicks money line. I think right now it's plus 1.5 or plus 1 in favor or for the Knicks getting that point, but I'm just going to take the money line for right now. This game's probably going to be, I think it'll probably switch over to the Knicks minus 1.5 by the time tip-off. So just give me the money line here as the play. Let's go over to the player props. First player prop of the night, Utah Jazz going up against the Pistons. Going back to John Collins, over 16.5 points. Not entirely sure what's wrong with Lauri Markkanen this year. It feels like he's been getting worse over the last couple of years. Pretty rare for that to happen, especially with this guy supposed to be in his prime. He's definitely in his prime right now. He was good with the Bulls. He was good with the Jazz the first year, or maybe even 2 years. But this season, he's struggling to put up 15-plus points per game. And the Utah Jazz, they need someone to score, and that person's definitely been John Collins. I do like this play for a couple of reasons. The first one's that John Collins, he's playing some extended minutes over the last couple of games, and on the season, he's only averaging 29.5 minutes per game. Over the last two, though, he's played 35-plus minutes against the Suns and the Clippers. The second reason I like John Collins is that he's been getting consistent double-digit shot attempts per game. He's had double-digit shot attempts in 9 of the last 10 games he's been in. He's also scored 14-plus points in 9 of the last 10 games. So this one might come down to the last 4 minutes or so when we need a layup or a couple free throws to hit. But I do think it's a pretty good bet. He's been hovering around 15 to 22 points over the last 2 weeks. Anyway, the amount of time he's on the floor and the shot volume he's taking, plus going up against this weak defense of the Pistons, I do think it's a pretty favorable line, a line that he should go over the total. We just need 10 or 12 shot attempts in this game. He should be able to cash. So give me the over 16.5 points as the play. And for the final play of the day, I'm going back to my guy. I mean, I couldn't take him against who'd he play? The 76ers, because he was questionable. I didn't know if he was going to play or not, but now we know he's going to play. He had that little appetizer going up against the 76ers. Didn't really play that well. I had 15 points. Let's see. I have the numbers up here, right? Yeah. 15 on him, 15 points, 3 threes. I think he had 11 assists in the game as well. But, that's not playing well for LaMelo Ball standards. And plus, he only shot 15 times. So you can double that number in this game going up against the Wizards. I do think we will see LaMelo Ball get back on track here. He's shooting 30-plus times nearly every single game before that injury. I do think you're going to see him a little bit more competitive in this game. He's had a couple days off as well after that first game back from the injury. And I did not expect him to be overly great in that first game back from injury. It takes some time for the NBA guys to get back in game shape, back in game rhythm, but he should be back in rhythm right now. After that game against the 76ers, 2 days off. Now he's going up against the worst defensive team in NBA history. He should be up there in shot attempts again in this game. 25-plus, 30-plus shot attempts would be great, and he only shoots 42.7% on the season. That's not a great number, but it doesn't really matter if he's shooting 25, 30 times per game. Doesn't matter if you shoot 42% or 62%. If you're shooting 30 times per game, you're going to score 30-plus points. So I'm going to take LaMelo Ball in this one. I do think he's going to bounce back after that kind of poor performance in the first game back from injury. Plus, we're getting a pretty good discount line here, 26.5. That is nothing for a guy who shoots 25-plus times on average per game. So give me the 26.5 points against the Wizards as the play. Let's go to the recap graphic. We're going to be taking Memphis, minus 3.5. Knicks on the money line against the T-Wolves. Should be a fun game there. Hopefully, I don't want to hope for a fight, but yeah, I would like to see a fight. Maybe not. Yeah, I'd like to see a fight. John Collins over 16.5 points going up against the Pistons, and LaMelo Ball discount line over 26.5 points going up against a team who shouldn't be in the NBA. Guys, that's going to do it for the NBA Plays and Props for Thursday, December 19th slated games. So you guys enjoyed the content. Please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.